Hello everybody, and in this time lapse I talk about this ship. I'll record a time lapse of the process and I'll cover the way I've created that. You can see I have a bunch of alphas here. I'll give a link to that station product. It's like $2 or $3 really. I used to texture it and it's pretty cool. So let's start. So here start with just a plane. Start to draw shapes using the 2D plane tool. Try to get that plane shape that I want to. Using the cut tool to cut some of the excessive parts. Then use the transform tool to elongate the frontal part. I use the curve tool with a particular, just pretty much almost default brush, alpha brush, to start carving out that shape that I wanted. This is the organic shape of an airplane, which has a bit of a curve, right? So I'm using the on plane tool to draw it on top, so have a bit more control. And it's really a rough sketch, so it took about 40 minutes, 50 minutes to do the whole thing. So I'm really not really concerned about details here. So change the tip. Just trying to fill up the gaps again using the plane. The plane is my right click, so every time I right click, I change the plane, start to draw. Using the pinch tool here to get some type of lines, aerodynamic lines, whatever that would look legit on this ship. Airship. Trying to get the tail wings. So actually using the blob tool to do the tail wings. I will be doing it from the top, maybe from the side. Trying to find the right angle to draw it. So then I did it from the top, made a really big brush and drew them like that. Okay, so got them out, then just a couple cuts, and they're all already part of the mesh. I'd normally do them separately, I would keep them on the same layer, but again here, super quick sketch. Trying to do some walk side operations, so hiding some parts, unhiding, and seeing what I get. Trying to tidy it up. So my resolution is pretty low, that's why I keep getting the holes when I smooth stuff. And the mesh is fairly thin. Here I want to do an essentially exhaust part, so I'm thinking more about like a spike exhaust, spike engine, or whatever you call it. Spike rocket engine. If you've never heard about them, you can check them like NASA Spike propulsion. They did some interesting tests. It's gonna be maybe the future of rocket propulsion in like 30 years, I guess. Again, just cuts. either walk side or just a cut tool. I use the walk side to hide the part, and now I will unhide it so I get my exhaust which I wanted. And really the shape can be quite simple. It's all about the texturing. So here I just wanted to pick up a standard material to start with, and then I decided to texture it. So just jumped into texture room and picked up the brush, which doesn't have, you can see I have like turned off options at the top. I'm painting a material on top, which is sometimes I turn off the normal map, roughness, and I pick different alphas. So this was one of my first sketches like that, so I'm kind of experiment a lot and just try different stuff. And constantly look how it reflects essentially. Yeah, the texture inside 3D code feels amazing. Like when you start to draw, it just feels really natural, really quite fast. I don't know, I don't have any EVs. So I'm using, at the moment I'm using some default alphas, but then I did buy some kind of pack on ArtStation. I'll try to put the link in the description. That pack probably was like $2. And it gave me 300 alphas, which were pretty cool. So you can see here I play around with the intensity of the like opacity of the layers, so I can draw something really bright, then drop it. So I need something to be slightly worn out. Something that's been, affected by the atmosphere and been beyond a little bit. And here I'm still using this just like rectangular selection and stuff like that. I wanted to get as far as I could using just the standard tools, but in the end I did end up buying alphas just because if you just only use rectangular and circles, you can get pretty far away, but not far enough, in my opinion. In this particular case, at least. Now I'm just removing stuff. It's like I cannot actually make a really thin line. I have to make it a bit thick, then I have to remove it. Presume just the texture quality right now is not that high. A lot of this is actually that you can replicate in a Substance Painter, but I feel like the 3D code is way faster. And don't forget I'm using the high poly model, and I can always bake this down to a low poly, retaining the layers. So that's another great thing. I have a bit more in-depth tutorial on how I was texturing a grenade in 3D code. But that was a prop, so this one is different because this one is entirely a concept. A grenade was more of a game prop. really wanted to add some kind of red marking, red spots around. And I also played around with just this big stuff. I would just drop a big shape and then smooth it out. Just see what happens. Remove it, edit. Playing with different layering. In the end, I think I either removed it completely or put it at some really minuscule value, like 2% of opacity. You can see how amazing it is when you just can change the opacity of the layer and changes the whole look immediately. Because we're dealing at the same time with metalness and smoothness, and I think 3D Code is the only application where you can have a high poly model that you can texture with all these channels, even with normal map channel. And normal map channel is actually pretty cool because you essentially create a sculpt layer, and then you can even apply it in a voxel room, in the sculpt room. It will be like a mesh. I do have a few ideas to apply, and I want to make something more complex in the future. Right, so here I kind of fast forwarded to when I got the pack, and then I'm just using these alphas with only metalness, really. You can see I don't have any color. I have a bit of a normal map, so it kind of makes a little indent every time I do this. I would recommend not to overdo normal maps. If you overdo them, they will look fake. So I decided to remove those crude lines I had before and just experimenting with stuff I got from ArtStation. ArtStation, the marketplace is great. I buy a lot of stuff there because it's quite often it's really cheap. Sometimes it's cheaper than it should be because artists, I don't think they make any money out of certain things they sell. Like, I don't know how much money I can get from a pack of alpha pack that you can sell for like $2-3. You can even give it for free and it would be maybe even more beneficial. You can see these alphas are great. It's got like really nice decay or gradient on it. Another great alpha, some kind of hard surface shape sections. And you can see I'm just eyeballing. I'm not using any kind of grids. It's all just eyeballing distance, so it all looks patched up together. Is no defined distance. So then I'm using the erasers. I thought maybe I had too many lines, so I started to remove some of them. Quite a few actually. Right, just thinking, looking at the model. I do use Substance Painter a lot, and I wish there was some kind of plan within 3D Code and Substance Painter, because most of them have features that I really enjoy, but and at the same time features that they don't have. Maybe one day I'll do a video about like Substance Painter and 3D Code. What's the difference? But I really want to wait for the new version of 3D Code to do that kind of comparison. Just erasing some parts. Almost finished. I think I decided to erase that triple line. I do a little section over there. Pretty much me. I hope this video was helpful for you guys, and let's see you in the next one.